card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this a jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad need pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more desto. Hit your throw and I'ma catch those. Mexicans, I make pesos. Hit your sus, I'ma praise those. Number save, no name though.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Miami Dolphins and the Houston Texans. It's an Indian summer afternoon, perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports.
Come on now, let's go!
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's 2nd down now.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Room here to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a 1st down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
On 1st down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They run the counter. Hurd, he takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll try and run for it. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And this crowd loves it as their guys hold on the opening drive. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. Tackled that time by Jerome Baker. Ohio State.
You go! You got it!
Jerome Baker in on the tackle. 1-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 41-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing.
From the gun, here's Watson. And his throw is incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on fourth, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it. Be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own side.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're not doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Throwing is Jackson. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're going ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on third downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. Fielded at the 20. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple.
Watch time. Tight as
Watson with a give to Miller. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook. Go play action. Toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
A 1st down carry now for Miller. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. To throw is Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan 1st down. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 46. They go back to the ground now with Miller. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Check 50.
50. It's Watson. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. How about the safety, Minka Fitzpatrick, swooping in for the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On second down now. Hurd. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after 1. They'll run on first down. Hurd. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, Hurd. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. But you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and set them down.
Jackson. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They run the counter. Hurd. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down.
17 yards. First down, Miami.
First foray into the red zone for Miami. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Now a give, right side. Hurd. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Let's go, Mike 50, Mike 50. Ricky. Hey, look.
Jackson now off the bootleg. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Second down and goal. Jackson. And he's got his tight end, Gesicki, in the end zone. Touchdown, Dolphins. Mike Gesicki, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now a 7-0 game. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 48-yard line. Watson now to throw. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
That's another Texans first down. First and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
58, right over there, right over there. Yeah, right there.
A shotgun snap for Watson. It's complete to Fuller. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, his first touchdown of the new season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But, you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. On second down now, Hurd. He finds an opening past the 40 as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
On first down, Hurd, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. They run the counter. Hurd. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And it's caught by Parker. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 39.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step in.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. He gets it into the arms of Parker, complete. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down. They'll throw on first down to Jackson. Completes this one to Meredith. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That one goes for 24 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. He'll try to run this one in. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd and goal. Jackson to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Batting that one free defensively was Lonnie Johnson. 3rd down and goal now, and this Houston defense not backing down. They'll look for one more stop. They'll try to run this one in, and he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown, and the Dolphins have taken the lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now the pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Here's Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And that's caught inside the 35. Watson hitting Fuller with a big one. 52 yards. Yeah, he's got their only touchdown. This offense struggling. They target him again.
Everyone is looking for the hot hand, and sometimes you just don't have it. Maybe it's just lukewarm. But you go to that guy and try and turn it hot. Try and get things going. Find a way to get everything kick-started. As you noted, he has only touchdown, so he's had the most success in the game thus far.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
To throw again on 2nd down. Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Charles Harris. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans.
Check 31, check 61. That's right. He's coming, double up.
3rd and long, it's Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Gets it to Meredith, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards, the final tally. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. Hurd. They'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. And down to the 16-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
On 2nd down, Hurd. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On 3rd down, Hurd. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
And no field goal try here from the red zone. Offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. They'll run. It's Drake. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. It's 1st and goal after they rip off a solid chunk of yardage in the ground game on a risky 4th down call. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great effort there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Sanders on for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 15 yards. The Texans pick up the first down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
They'll run on first down. Miller. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Hey. At 58 is the mic. Go 58 is the mic.
Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Who's that? Mike 58 right there. It's been a long day for you. Motion.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Watson escaping the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And I think the ball's out. And the Dolphins have got it. He had gained really good yardage. That's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you've got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, It's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. On first down, Hurd. Now the ball comes loose, and the Texans say they have it. They do.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Following the fumble recovery, Watson. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Now this throw caught left side. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. Watson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw, Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Incomplete. It's now 2nd and 10.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back now in Houston. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. To the air yet again. Watson flush to his right. He'll try and run it. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson flushed out right. And that's going to be incomplete.
Well, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
The Texans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, Watson. And he's got it. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. One-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll keep it on the ground. Hurd. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 48-yard line. Now a give, right side. Hurd. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And a short gain down to about the 33. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
They'll keep it on the ground. Hurd. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game? In order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They'll run on first down. Hurd. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the 4th, a costly turnover. And he's going to keep it here. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now it's Watson. Being chased out left. That complete to Lamar Miller. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Meanwhile, in Nashville, they're on to the 4th quarter now. The Jets continuing to pour it on. They're opening the lead up even further. A win would be their 2nd on the young season. They go play action here on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
You got 4.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson eluding the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movements. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
I know you felt that one. I know you felt that one.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
And set. 19. So we got man.
Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. This one brought in by the 6'5" tight end Waring. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Kahale Waring, his second touchdown on the season, as they can now tie the game with the extra point here in the final 2 minutes. The extra point, a vital one, and he gets it to go. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They need to get this around the 40 on the other side to get into field goal range. But with clock, a decent amount of time here in a tie game, what do they do?
No panic situation at all. They've got to get a couple of chunk plays, pick up nice bits of yardage.
Target the sidelines?
Target the sidelines because you want to get out of bounds and make sure that clock stops. Because if the clock stays running, that makes things that much tougher for you. It can always bleed out on you.
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a third and about 5. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And that one hits at the 7 but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now it's Watson. And he can't get a throw off. off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. A sack by Brandon Graham. He's been doing that since he entered the league in 2010. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans.
58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58. Get that quarterback, D-line.
Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 37-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This is fielded at the goal line. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Except for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing, because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Hurd. That second down run, a big help. The 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That can give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward. And it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off. But in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
So a big play in this opening drive of overtime. Now looking at a 3rd and 3. It's complete to Grant. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 46-yard line.
Come on, let's go.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. A Miami first down on a 14-yard pickup.
First down, Dolphins.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory, right at the 40. They'll run it now out of the gun. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
A gain of 26 yards. And the Dolphins first down.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down, and that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however, and let's see what that's about. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Jackson. And this will be caught. It's a touchdown. And absolute stunned silence here as they have come in and stolen this one in overtime. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.